We're going to go over some of those examples further here in regards to what they feel and think. But first off, I want to start off with a post from Paris from a few weeks ago. And this is just to kind of highlight something I wanted to bring up real quick because I think it's a good touching point here. And I feel like we have to adhere to what Xbox is doing sometimes. And I don't necessarily agree with that. So here, Paris is stating, right?
You feel like you have to adhere to what Xbox is doing and you don't agree with that. What are you talking about?
The era of exclusivity will be studied by the future generations and they'll probably laugh at us.
Yes.
So...
No, they'll laugh at the fanboys. Yes, they will 1,000% laugh at you guys. They will say, what were they talking about? They'll say, what do they mean? Putting games on one platform leads to more sales. What are they talking about? They would say, obviously, they were keeping games locked to one platform because they were paywalling. This was not something that helped the consumer. Why would they advocate for this? Yes, they're going to be looking at that shit, studying it, saying, what the hell was wrong with these guys?
Here's the thing, right? I've had multiple videos where I've gave my point of view, my case study, so to speak, of why exclusives
and it was garbage. It is trash, and you get cooked for your point of view.
Matter. I still firmly believe that exclusives matter to this day, to this moment.
Well, then I guess PlayStation doesn't matter because what exclusives do you guys have?
For as long as it possibly can into the future, because it does. That competition is needed. The quality exudes itself once those are created and so on.
The quality exudes itself. All of these guys sound the same. They all get into quality, but they will never be able to define what the hell that shit is. Other than the fact of the game's paywalled and only people on PlayStation can play it. I'm starting to think that's what quality means.
And so forth. So I think exclusivity and exclusives have always been important from day one across any platform, not just PlayStation and Xbox, but Nintendo.
I mean, day one in the beginning, they were probably important, but in today's day and age, it looks like they become a thing of the past. It looks like you got to put your games everywhere if you want to get sales, right? Now, don't get me wrong, you can still sell the game, but let's just be honest, your sales are going to be limited when you look at how much you could have made by putting them all on all platforms. And I don't understand why that has to be so complicated. I don't understand. I think that's pretty simple. I don't know why these guys make it more complex than what it has to be.
To Atari to Sega, obviously, and so on and so forth. I mean, even the...
Oh, you old dude, right? I know I'm a young guy. I know I'm in my late 20s. Brother, why are you talking about Atari and whatnot? Boy, we're talking about the PS5. We're in this gen. I'm gonna need you to hone it in, buddy. This is why you got to watch out with these old guys. They always want to hop in the hot tub time machine. I say it all the time. There we go again, going down memory lane. Why can't we talk about right now? Right? We know why they don't want to talk about right now, right? It's a drought.
Ouya had exclusives.
And you guys don't even have exclusives anymore as well. That's why you guys want to go back to the past. And that's another reason why you guys be hiding behind Nintendo, right? But I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's just listen to this guy.
And some great indie exclusives. And it made the Ouya appealing to some.
The what?
So, I mean, New World, right? That was exclusive to PC and, same with World of Warcraft and such like that. But anyways... exclusives matter. So I just wanted to take a moment to just kind of highlight this. I find it interesting because I feel like we have to adhere to many different things. And one of those things being Microsoft changed how they view exclusivity at this point because they had to. They had to pivot.
Like PlayStation. So did PlayStation have to? Did they have to pivot?
Because they had to pivot, now everybody else has to. I still find... and we still see that Nintendo...
I mean, if Microsoft pivoted and they're saying they no longer are what's it called, going to hold on to exclusivity, wouldn't it be smart for the people who are fans of Microsoft to pivot as well? Instead of looking like you guys holding on to exclusivity, right? Holding on to sand, even though you know that the games are no longer exclusive and they're going to other platforms, right? Instead of saying stupid shit like timed exclusive and whatnot. I don't know. I think pivoting might be what you need to do before it's too late, my brother.
Was doing a great job with exclusives in their niche market as well. I don't think exclusives are outdated. I don't think they're bad. And I know people are going to go to bat for that and think they are.
But all the examples that you gave of exclusives were outdated, literally, by the definition, right? You can't even show any new exclusives. And I already know I hear the PlayStation guys hopping on the keyboard, right? I hear them typing already. What about Death Stranding 2? What about Ghost to Yote, right? And that brings upon the age-old question, right? If it's going to another platform, right, whether it be in 6 months or a year, is it really exclusive, right? Everybody and their mama knows that these games are not going to stay on PlayStation, but we still like to go around and say they're exclusive. Why? Because Sony told me so. You know what I mean? It just comes off as cope to me.
I understand as a pro-consumer move in a way that playing your game anywhere is a good method to do so. But
and how is that in a way? No, 1,000%. Being able to play your game anywhere, not having to buy the game twice, is 100% pro-consumer. But let's see if you try to twist it.
There are a lot of pros that I feel outweigh the cons, but I just wanted to bring that up. Not a slight towards this whatsoever, but I feel like sometimes...
But you have them in the salty batch file, and you're basically saying that you have to adhere to whatever Microsoft is saying. You're low-key saying that he's just following whatever Microsoft is saying. But I guess you're a renegade, right? Even though you heard the fireside chat, even though you heard what PlayStation is saying about bringing their tentpole titles to other platforms, you still refuse to pivot. You're still the crazy old man holding on to exclusivity like nothing's changed, right? Which is, let's just be honest, this is a path I've seen a lot of you PlayStation guys take.
People want to own in on the fact that Xbox has moved on in a different direction, so should everybody else. I don't agree.
PlayStation has as well, right? Evil twin, they're partners in crime, right? And this is what I'm saying. And you're, instead of you accepting that and moving and changing your outlook, you're still rolling with it. Like exclusivity, like exclusives still matter, right? That's what I'm saying. Exclusives matter, then I guess PlayStation doesn't, right?
Just wanted to share that there, though. But as we continue on here, can we show this post here?
I don't know. Can we?
Here? Do we have a hive mind type of situation here? How similar people are making this out to be? As you can see here from JP, the ED aficionado here. So the PS5 generation haven't been profitable.
Did he just say aficionado? Aficionado. Brother, this is what I'm saying. You watch this shit back and you're still rolling with it. And on top of that, I'm so tired of seeing these guys. These guys love saying, "Oh, it's a hive mind. Look at them. They're all." It's almost like this is news. Sony will lose a combined $1.2 billion due to the Concord/Marathon game cancellations. Now, hear me out, right? I heard that they haven't officially canceled Marathon, so that was probably just a rumor, right? But nonetheless, why would they not talk about this? Why would they not talk about Sony losing a shit ton of money, making a bad decision with how they came about with the live service game? Why would this not be trending news? It'd be trending news if it was Xbox, right? But whenever you see the Xbox guys doing the same thing that y'all do on Twitter, you guys cry about it. And it's odd to me, right? You guys act like there's some type of secret society, right? Plotting your demise, plotting the demise of PlayStation. It just seems odd, man. I don't know.
Profitable for Sony, which is incorrect, as we've seen at the beginning video and what I posted at the end of that. King David, but it's the most successful generation.
No, we didn't see, because I always skip your intros, right? Because I want to hear what you have to say. A lot of times it's nothing, right? There's nothing in the little vault.
It is. It is the most successful generation in a way. It's soon to be surpassing the PSP. It's going to surpass the Xbox 360. So on and so forth.
Then why are they pivoting away from exclusivity? And also, why are they moving away from a hardware-centric business model, right? I've yet to hear your thoughts on the Vault about that, right? But we're talking about Xbox guys and what they tweeted about. Okay.
Continued. Direct gaming to all you foolish lames. You still yapping about PlayStation sells. The brand itself has not been profitable. You all, as a donkey collective, have failed with your weak, ignorant narratives.
Yes.
Myths and theories. Sony failure is that it believed in y'all. PS5 makes no money with a bunch of laughing emojis. Again, incorrect. But you see the hype.
Oh, is it? Why are they moving away from a hardware-centric business model, right? Why are they focused on MAUs, right? I don't know, right? I think there's a little bit truth to what he's saying. I think you just don't want to hear it.
Right? It just continues with Xbox Series X. I'll leave it up here for a moment. You guys can continue to read. As you continue to read
continue to read what, brother? You don't even have it zoomed on this specific tweet. You have a collage, right, of all these different fucking tweets. I don't know what you're reading, brother, but whatever you're reading, it seems like it's spreading you some truth, right? It seems like they're giving you some useful information, and you should pay attention to what they're saying. But like I said, instead you're making a clown of yourself, and you're still pretending like your games are exclusive.
Probably losing brain cells, so proceed with caution there. But it's just, really hive mind. They just latch onto something, right? Xbox lost the console war. Xbox had to pivot. Xbox no longer has...
We're still talking about the console war, brother. What are you talking about? These guys. This is what I'm saying. The console war is over. They're still talking about it. They're still manning their post, right? Xbox lost. You guys have been in first place, right? But all you do is sit around and talk about Xbox, right? That's all I'm saying.
Exclusives. Those games are going to other platforms like PlayStation, their direct competitor. There are no red lines.
Just like PlayStation is bringing their games over to Xbox, their competitor. What? This is what I'm saying. And look, what is he doing yet again? I call it out in every video. He's not making eye contact with the camera because he knows the shit that he's saying is bullshit. He has to look away.
This is why you're seeing this narrative of it's not profitable for Sony or PlayStation. This is absolutely incorrect. 110%.
I mean, it seems like there's a reason why they're putting their games on other platforms. It seems like they need that money. They really, really do. They need that money. The same thing with live service, right? Because they're talking about how they've been failing with live service. It looks like they're going to keep on trying because they see that there's a lot of money to be made in live service games, right? But you guys keep on asking for the sad dad games. You don't get it. They ain't got the money for that.
Correct. And just filled with lies, guys. It's just filled with lies. But hit a pause if you need to finish reading some of that stuff. Because
no, hit a pause if you need to finish reading some of that shit. I'm going to tell you right now, boy, ain't nobody read none of this shit. This is weak-ass salt. You need to do better. What the hell are we doing? What the hell is this, right? Who did you snatch this from and just throw it up on your screen and think that this is salt content? Buddy, I'm just saying, it seems like they're talking that shit, and it seems like what they're saying is truthful, especially when it's in response to how much money they lost from these failed live service games. I'm just saying, right? PS5, a poor decision, in my opinion, right? Poor decision from those guys. Even though I understand why they're doing live service games, I think the execution was just poor.
There's some good stuff in there, but let's just real quick, I want to share that graph again one more time, like we did in the beginning here. You can hit pause on this as well if you want to just kind of look at this. This is an actual graph. This is legit.
I know, boy, we're not hitting pause to look at the graph. We're hitting pause to cook your ass. What does this have to do with anything? Yet again, here we are again with sales, right? I don't get it. I don't get it. I guess we're showing, quote unquote, how profitable Sony is. But at the same time, they're moving away from a hardware-centric business model, right? And then on top of that, they're putting their games on other platforms. The Fireside Chat, they talked about how they're going to continue to put games on other platforms. They're tentpole titles, by the way, right? So all of this, because these guys love to talk about sales and everything, we could give two fucks about any of this. All that we know is that PlayStation is putting their games on other platforms. And what I've known, when I've seen corporations do this shit, like with Microsoft, right? It's never just one game, right? But you guys want to say it's just live service games. You guys want to say it's not single player games. I'm just saying you guys are going out bad.
And it does show that PS5 is profitable and the most profitable generation so far. So if Xbox is losing, they want PlayStation to fail and lose as well in a lot of areas. Now,
nobody wants PlayStation to fail. I don't think I've seen anybody say that, right? People are just saying that they think they're going to start putting their games in other platforms. Not even that they think. They know. They see it. They're just saying the reason why they're doing that is because they're trying to tap into that money, right? Similar to Xbox when they went multi-platform and started putting their games everywhere. Seems like you guys are multi-platform. It seems like we've got a third-party party, right? It's the third-party party, and it seems like you guys were invited.
PlayStation's doing more than well, right? As we can see, Xbox is going to do just fine as a third-party publisher.
Oh, that's wait a minute. Oh, and just like how you guys are doing just fine as a PlayStation, as a third-party publisher. This is what I mean. And what do you mean they're going to do fine? I thought they were dead.
They had to pivot. It's okay. It's okay if you want to stay with Xbox and play on Xbox.
Yeah, just like how it's okay if you want to stay with PlayStation and play on PlayStation, even though they pivoted. How can you say that Xbox pivoted when PlayStation is literally stealing their whole flow? But you won't admit that. Like, how do you not see the hypocrisy of what you're saying right now?
It's 100% okay. These segments are to call out the delusional morons like we just seen in the previous multiple posts right there, right?
Brother, you're the delusional moron, right? And this is what I mean. You're just the gift that keeps on giving. I mean, seriously, brother, do you not see the hypocrisy in what you're saying?
The Hive Mind Collective, trying to push a false narrative. This is why we're here. People want to get so angry and upset that we're just stating the truth here. Calling out the delusion, calling out the lie.
You're stating out the half-truth, right? Because like I said, they're Johnny on the spot when it comes to Microsoft. And even though I do feel like they kind of push things overboard because, you know, they don't like Microsoft. But you guys can easily call out, oh, Microsoft is going third party, right? As soon as one game went over, oh, it's the whole slate. But when it's time for you guys to look and have some self-reflection, right? Because you guys consider yourselves to be a part of Sony on some weird shit. When it's time for some self-reflection, you guys can't see that you're following in Microsoft's footsteps, right? At least PlayStation is. I mean, I don't get how you guys don't notice that part.
That's all we're doing here. But it is crazy. They're salty that Xbox went in that direction. If they can have their exclusives back.
Where's the salt, though? I haven't seen any salt. None. What are you talking about?
In a heartbeat, they'd be right pushing that narrative as well. But
and I love the whole, oh, if they could have their exclusive back. Brother, they still have their exclusive. When a game goes to another platform, it doesn't leave your library, right? I had to make sure that I pronounce it right because somebody let me know that I'd be saying library instead of library, right? And that was a fair critique. I do be doing that. When a game goes from being when a game becomes multi-plat, you don't lose it from your library, right? It doesn't just disappear. So I don't know what you mean. Oh, if they could have their exclusives back, they'd have it back in a heartbeat. No, only the fanboys think like that, right? And from what I'm seeing, you just said you showed Paris, right? And everybody tries to say he's an Xbox fanboy. From what I've seen, they've pivoted. They accept that exclusives are a thing of the past, right? Now we're all waiting for you guys to do the same, but you guys just refuse to.
As we continue here, we got some more, right? Nico, you're back on here again. He states, Xbox is utterly dominating PlayStation's storefront. Xbox is the biggest sales force on Sony's own ecosystem. 1, it's no longer a console war. 2, it's a content war. Hashtag change of tides. He's using data from, of course, good old Jez Corden, who I don't think the guy's had a good couple years in regards to giving out.
I mean, shit, he's doing better than you. I can tell you that much. I don't follow Jez Corden, but I guarantee you he's doing better than Xvault Gaming. But go ahead and talk about how he's doing, you little hater, right?
Information and his opinions personally, and we've showed that over and over again. But again, going off the new data shows.
Yeah, because that's what you always showing other people's shit. Yes, exactly. And you probably weren't on the screen when you showed it. You probably didn't provide any type of input. You probably just played a clip of him talking and then said, "Did you guys see that? Crazy, right?" And went on with your salty batch files, right? This is weak ass content. I mean, goddamn, dog.
Xbox is utterly dominating PlayStation storefront, accounting for 60% of the Q2 top 10 game sales spots, etc., etc.
Yes.
Feel free to read the rest of that.
Oh, whoa, what do you mean, etc., etc.? You just gonna read past all this shit? Boy, come on. Come on, brother. And look at the look on his face. They did not see this coming. I mean, is what he's saying not the truth? Is Xbox not utterly dominating PlayStation storefront, right? With the non-quality games, the Gamepass fodder, with the Gamepass shovelware. Is that not what's going on here?
Article post right there. However, let's take a quick break here. Again, we're pushing a false narrative. In a way, he's right. There is no longer a console war because Xbox lost. That doesn't mean...
Oh, because Xbox lost. No, because both of these games... None of these companies are practicing exclusivity, right? And if they are, it's timed exclusivity, right? And it's going to go to another platform. That's why. It looks like it's more of a content war, right? That's what it's looking like, right? But go ahead. How is he wrong?
PlayStation has lost two or lost their way or whatever the case is. Regardless,
and they have. Are they not putting games on Xbox? Right? They have. How are you going to sit here and pretend like they haven't? And then on top of that, like you barely see any exclusives, right? The game that is an exclusive, you barely see any exclusives. And in the top 10 sellers, that I think that's an interesting point to bring up as well.
If they end up, and I'm not saying they will, if they do end up putting their single player games,
they've already ended up doing it, and the single player games are gonna be playable on Xbox hardware regardless. I've seen you on Twitter trying to throw in some hate on the ROG Ally because you know that it's about to be full slate. It's full slate regardless. You know why? Because Sony sold you guys out, right? And I'm saying that tongue in cheek. I don't think that they sold them out by putting their games on PC, but they sold you out by putting all your games on Steam, right? Let me talk in the console war terms, right? They put all your games on Steam, buddy. That's why you guys are in this predicament. That's why it's going to be full slate. That's why when that ROG Ally comes out and these Xbox guys have access to Steam, they're going to be able to play all y'all shit. I mean, this whole exclusivity thing that you're holding on to, it's done, right? And to make it even worse, Sony's is like, hey, y'all don't got to wait for these new consoles. Hell, we'll bring the game to your platform. We'll bring it to you, even though they're the guys who don't buy games, right? That's the shit that you've been running with, right? I haven't heard you say it one time in this video, so who knows? Maybe you guys are starting to pivot a little bit.
On competing platforms, it's going to be a trial by trial by trial. If it happens, it's because Xbox has bowed out. They're third-party.
Okay, so it's going to be a trial by trial by trial. And if it happens, it's because Xbox bowed out. And look at him yet again, not looking at the camera. I mean, dude, your tail, you make it too easy to point you out, right? Your tails will always show. I mean, dude, come on, brother. Really? So if it happens and they start putting games on Xbox, it's because Xbox left the fight. I said this in my live stream a couple days ago. They love trying to make it seem like Microsoft retreated, right? Like I said, I've never seen a retreat. When you retreat, I thought that's when you leave the battlefield. I've never seen people retreat and end up in their enemies' backyard, right? End up in their enemies' strongholds, right? They done retreated, but somehow ended up dominating PlayStation storefront. What type of retreat is that, right? Is that what bowing out is? It seems like they advanced. It seems like they gained ground. And instead of y'all just being honest and speaking about it realistically, you guys have to sit here and cope and say, oh, they left the fight. They bowed out. Shit, it doesn't look like that to me.
So when we're talking about it's a content war, there is no content war. Again, how many times do I have to state this? There's no content war. No,
brother, Xbox is utterly dominating PlayStation storefront, right? 60% of their top 10 games is taken up by Microsoft games. What are you talking about?
Nobody is cheerleading EA, Ubisoft, Square Enix, Rockstar to be these great focal points for how much money they're...
I mean, I don't know. I've seen you guys cheerlead Square Enix and shit when it was quote-unquote exclusive, even though they hung your guys' asses out to dry. I mean, I don't know, but go ahead, right?
Intake, how much money they're making, what the profit is outside of the revenue. We're not seeing that. There is no content war. You know how boring a content war is? Do I see any other channels?
Not at all. Not at all. I think it would be a lot more interesting to actually talk about content in games instead of weak-ass gimped consoles, right? I know there's some console warriors who watch the content, but I mean, let's just be real. The consoles are no longer innovative, right? It looks like they're becoming a thing of the past. Especially with Microsoft, it looks like they're heading towards having more so of like a streamlined PC box, right? That's going to be able to access Steam. I mean, brother, wake up and smell the coffee. Even PlayStation is saying they're moving away from a hardware-centric business model. I mean, dog, you just got to wake up and see what's really going on. You're holding on to sand, my brother.
Making content war between Disney and Netflix and Hulu. Obviously, Disney and Hulu now conjoining. HBO, Cinemax.
I mean, you guys have slick been doing that shit already. You guys have been saying that your games are better than the Xbox games, that they have more quality and everything, right? And now we'll just really be able to see about that because now you guys have a chance to buy the games, right? And it's not you guys because the PlayStation fanboys only make up a small percent. But what you're seeing is the PlayStation audience likes Xbox games, right? So as much as the narrative, and I'll be honest, the narrative won, by the way, right? Everybody was saying that the games in Game Pass were not quality games, that they were trash games, they weren't good games. And that's why it's so funny to look at the top sellers on PlayStation and to see that 60% of the games are Microsoft games. That's what everybody's laughing about. I mean, the jig is up.
Stars, Peacock, Apple TV. I may not have been seeing these.
Oh, brother, I pirate everything. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Don't nobody subscribe to none of that shit. I hop right on the internet and I pirate that shit, brother.
So if there are content creators out there actually doing content wars, please let me know. Or maybe not, but please let me know just so I have some context.
You might want to start peeping it, right? Because this console war shit that you're doing, this shit is dead. You might want to start pivoting. You might want to start paying attention, right? And now while you're at it, fix the camera too. Because like I said, I shouldn't be seeing the top of your goddamn head, dog. You look like a little kid holding his parents' iPhone, man. I'll never let that shit go.
Here, because to my knowledge, there's no content wars. People will consume what they want whenever a product is somewhere else.
Oh yeah, well yeah, I mean yeah, you got a point because I mean right now it's looking like you guys don't have a lot of content, right? So I mean you guys would have to match the output or at least come close to the output, right? Because let's just be real, Microsoft is looking like they're a machine. They pumping games out, right? Let's just be real. We getting 1 or 2 tempo titles from you guys though.
There's no content wars. The console wars was the only war that there was. It's over. It's done.
I think I see where you're going with this. Yeah, it is kind of one-sided. It is one-sided. We can't really say that it's a war because right now it's looking like Microsoft is taking y'all lunch, right? I mean, just look at the look on his face. I always get the best pauses.
Xbox is a third-party publisher at this point in time. It doesn't matter what kind of hardware they're putting out at this point in time. It's done. We went over this in the last videos, right?
It doesn't matter what hardware they're putting out. It's done. Even though they had 30 million people who bought their last console, right? Even though they've let people know, hey, we're going to continue to provide consoles that are going to give that console experience, right, to the fans. It's done. It's dead, right? It seems like we're just coping. It seems like we're just, to be honest with you, we're just spreading misinformation at this point, right? I think you want them to be done. That's what it is.
Kind of crazy. Again, that false narrative. That's what they want you to believe. We want PlayStation to succumb down to what Xbox has become. That's the only way.
They want PlayStation to succumb down. Buddy, see, this is the thing. This is the difference. The difference between me and you. Yeah. See, this is the difference between us and you. Buddy, we know that we have no bearings on what these companies are doing. What do you mean we want Sony to succumb? Sony made that decision on their own. Sony decided to put their games on Xbox, just like how they decided to put damn near all their games on PC, right? The tempo titles. Don't nobody want Sony to do shit. Sony is making their own goddamn decisions. But you're still coping and astroturfing for them. You're still pretending, like I said, like they're exclusive, right? Probably because you have a special feeling for these goddamn exclusives, right? I don't get it.
They're going to feel good about the direction of Xbox, you know? They still haven't accepted the full circle of grief, anger, all that stuff. They still...
Oh, brother, you're projecting right now. You've yet to accept it. You literally showed somebody, right? Somebody who enjoys Xbox products to start off your video. You showed them, and you showed plenty of times, Xbox people coming to grips with the fact that their games are going to other platforms. Maybe that's why they don't get clowned as much as you fanboys, by the way.
They keep recycling that circle, right? They keep recycling that. It's really
projection.
But as we continue here, now we have Colt back at it again, right?
Of course. Oh, because you love Colt Eastwood. Would it be an Xvault video if we didn't get some seethe over Colt Eastwood? Look at you. You're already rolling your eyes and everything. Brother, this is not a good look.
Can't have Colt Eastwood. Colt Eastwood. You can fund 25 new AAA games per year with that revenue. He's talking about good old J-Rock, this guy who doesn't even game really.
Hey, no, he's talking about money, buddy, right? And that's what it takes to make these decisions. And now you're talking about people that don't really game, right? Let me guess. Did you stalk him? Did you look up his gamer account, right? I mean, come on, you guys, his gamer tag. You guys are sad, man.
Who spouts lies on a daily basis? Got to quote each other because that's how they roll. Gamepass.
Oh, so the PlayStation. So you guys don't quote each other and circle jerk each other. It's Twitter, dog. That's the whole point of interacting and quoting with each other. But go ahead, talk shit about this, right? And also, this is from July 31st. There you go again with your old tweets. You know, old dude with old news. I got to get that one off every time.
This is a $5 billion service. God, please bless me with that sort of unsustainability.
Yeah.
With a laughing, crying emoji.
Yeah.
What are we doing here?
We're talking about how you guys want to say that Gamepass is unsustainable, even though they made $5 billion, right?
I kind of touched base on this a little bit in the last, video last week, right? In regards to...
Oh, yeah, you may have touched on it briefly, right? But you didn't really say anything of any significance.
Stock experts, revenue, profitability, et cetera, et cetera.
Oh, but now you're about to pretend to be a stock expert. Now you're about to pretend to look at this fact that Game Pass has made $5 billion, right, in revenue. And you're going to sit here and say, oh, let me guess, they don't have profit or whatever.
Again, we're taking something that they don't understand, profit versus revenue. Just because...
No, I think they do understand. And let's just be honest. The only information that Microsoft has made public is their revenue. Now, I can understand people saying, oh, well, that looks a little bit shady, yada, yada, yada. Well, I mean, there's a lot of eyes on Game Pass. So I can understand why they're being selective on the information they want to release. But at the end of the day, $5 billion in revenue, right? I mean, if you really wanted to do the math, I guess you could kind of estimate how many people are on the service or whatever. But let's be honest, who wants to do that shit? Right? As a Game Pass user, I'm just hoping that it is sustainable. And from what I'm seeing, from what they're saying, it is sustainable. So I don't know.
It's a 5.
I mean, I know I'm talking a lot, but I mean, I just feel like if it wasn't sustainable, they would shut the shit down. Right? I doubt that they're just in it for the goodwill, right? Giving us something, losing money. I doubt they're operating like that.
$1 billion service, that doesn't account for everything. You're not working under that umbrella. You're not working side by side with Satiel and Nadella. You're not working side by side with...
Oh, trust me, I know, and I wouldn't want to. And to be honest with you, I don't see content creators, at least on the Xbox side, I don't see them pretending like they are, like you guys do. You guys love to pretend to be in business meetings. I just don't get it.
Phil Spencer, Aaron Greenberg, Matt Booty, whoever might be in that circle that knows a little bit more, whoever that may be.
Knows a little bit more. Brother, they know it all, right? But go ahead. Just what is this dude talking about?
You don't know. You are just a content creator. Just like I'm not going to sit there and tell you guys how much PlayStation is for sure.
Brother, but that's what you did this whole entire video. You literally just pulled up a sheet of their revenue or whatever, right? And talking about, look at PlayStation, they're good. You don't know about their profit margins and whatnot. You don't know everything about their operating costs, right? But you sure did show your little graph that you got from fucking Twitter. And you sure did show it and say, and you even told people they could pause on it. Like they wanted to pause and look at that. That's what you've done. What are you talking about?
Profiting on a whim. Or Nintendo's profiting on a whim and over whatever I can kind of pull for data. I'm not going to do that because I'd be full of crap like these guys are. That is not.
But that's what you literally did. You literally showed a graph of their finances, right? You didn't elaborate or anything, right? Like I said, I could give two fucks. I wasn't interested in seeing it. I just referred to the vice president. And on top of that, I referred to the fact that there's games that are going to the Xbox, right? And I know what that means. I know what time it is. Like I said, I've seen this movie before, right? And no matter how much money they made, you know what I know on top of that? And this is me just using a little bit of common sense. I know despite how much money they made, they always want to make more money. Right. And that's something that you guys don't understand. Right. You guys thought that it was exclusive and that you guys were just going steady, that it was just going to be you guys and I. Right. PlayStation and I until the end of your days. Right. And now that rug has been snatched from underneath y'all.
Enough to fund 25 new AAA games per year with that revenue. If that was the case, they wouldn't have bowed out of the console wars. Do we see how that works? Do you see how they continue to push that?
But here you go again saying that they bowed out of the console wars. Why? Because they put games on PlayStation? If that's the case, it looks like PlayStation bowed out of the console wars as well. Right? You keep on coming with this broken logic and you keep on running it, but you don't see how it applies to yourself, right? And I think that's the most odd thing about your videos.
Narrative and those lies. Again, they just know things and they want to hype up that base. You have so many casual followers that will never, ever leave these guys. We'll use them for...
Oh, yeah, go ahead and cry about how they have casual followers. Maybe it's because the people who watch them enjoy their content. Why does that make you upset? Why every single time you do a video, you complain about other people's follower count? Like, I'm not going to lie, it just makes you look like a jealous old man.
Content for information, and they think they're right because they listen to these guys like that. And they're wrong.
Well, okay, well, what's wrong? Did they not make $5 billion in revenue? Right? He's not saying that it's profit. I don't see anybody running around saying they made $5 billion in profit. Everybody's saying revenue. So what are they saying that's not true? And why does this have you salty? Why does this have you seething? Because it cuts into your narrative that Game Pass is unsustainable, that it's not going to last, right? Even though you probably are on Game Pass playing games through the subscription service, if we're going to keep it 100. And yet again, where are we at? Here comes the reoccurring theme. You can't even look the camera and it's in the camera eyeball, right? You can't even look the camera in its face. You're looking away and shit.
And they're made to look foolish. I mean, that's on them. That's on them. But ultimately, they do it to themselves. But
I mean, I don't know. Nobody looks more foolish than you, man. That's what I'm saying. I've been enjoying these little cope sessions, right? Easy content.
You know, we try to curb that, right? We try to curb that. We try to educate. And there's nothing wrong with that. If they were super profitable and it was...
Educate with what? Your response to this was that if Xbox was going to make 25 new AAA games per year, they wouldn't have left the console war. That was your response. What type of response was that? That was a PlayStation fanboy response. Like, this is what I mean. You're over here, Kobe. Look at your face, brother.
Truly sustainable, and they didn't have to bounce out of console war. More power to them. I said multiple times.
You keep on harping to the bounce out of the console war, right? But it's looking like PlayStation had to do the same thing.
There was chances for them to make this course correct, make Game Pass a thing, but you cannot do day and date games. You have to change this. You have to change that.
Yeah, you have to make it weak. You have to make it mid, because that's what our subscription service is. And deep down, we're jelly about it. I know that's what it is.
That's all fine and dandy. If they did that, if they succeeded, then great. Good job.
I mean, they made $5 billion in revenue, right? It seems like they're excited. They posted those numbers. I mean, you have no proof that it's not sustainable. You don't have any numbers to show that it's not working. And like I said, if it wasn't sustainable, I think they'd pull the rug, to be honest with you.
But stop lying, because that is not the case. That is not what went down. That's not what happened. This is why they're now a full-on third-party publisher.
Just like PlayStation. PlayStation's a full-on third-party publisher. When are you going to give the breakdown on how that happened, right? Because we're left on the outside looking in, having to infer, right? We want to hear it from a PlayStation pundit, right? From a aficionado, right? And you also mispronounced that word earlier. Hopefully you see this and you learn how to pronounce it correctly. I mean, dog, what are you talking about? Honestly, like, you keep on talking about how they left the console war and they're a full third-party publisher. I mean, isn't that what you guys have been doing? Because you guys were a third-party publisher before you put games on Xbox, right? But that was just the goalpost that you guys wanted to move. And you guys are still holding on to that goalpost now, even though games have gone to the Xbox, right? I mean, today, right? Literally, ironically, today is the 26th, right? Today, a game is going over to Xbox. I mean, come on, brother.
But to sit there and quote each other, they just... You know, that echo chamber just going off.
And you're firmly planted in that echo chamber, right? And these tweets obviously make you very upset. I can tell by the look on your face. You don't seem very happy.
All the time. It's so weird. So weird to me. As we continue to go on, I just wanted to share something here from Juan Marico Fuentes here. He just put up a good post here, I think, overall. I think This is a good post here.
Oh, but I thought that this was salt, right? You're just posting somebody from your comments. And this is why I'm saying, shout out to my community, goddammit. They don't want me to start posting comments of what you guys say, right? Y'all damn near got more to say than me and shit, right? They don't want me to start because it would be feet on neck for real, for real. Your boy Say's got the best goddamn community on YouTube. Let me talk my shit. But let's hear what this guy got to say.
Hashtag Game Pass. It's so harmful because it's cheapening the work of the developers, retailers, and everybody involved working in this hobby. Everybody has the right to live from their work and profession, but the Xbots and PC, hashtag PC pigs, which I don't care for that term.
Shut your punk ass up, boy. Yeah, that's exactly what you care for, right? Because you love talking shit about the PC guys. This is what you PlayStation fanboys do. And you decided to put this up, by the way, right? But the Xbots and PC pigs love to exploit the work of other. I mean, god damn. I mean, these guys are just crying and shit. Game Pass, it's so harmful because it's cheapening the work of developers and retailers. Like, you guys have no source, no data. I see why you pulled this up, right? I see birds of a feather flock together. No data, nothing to back this up, right? And then here we go. They're going to start talking about pirating. Let me hear them say.
To exploit the other work, right? The work of others. The Xbots using Game Pass and the PC folks pirating the games or using codes from sites like Aneva, I've
never heard of that, but I'm on CD Keats. But yes, you're damn right. We'll be sailing the high seas, and we'll also be using codes, right? So Juan Marcio, you can just keep on crying about this shit. God damn it. When it comes to PC, I think you need to get you Juan instead of crying about this shit, right? Like a little baby.
I don't know how that's pronounced, but paying cents for the hard work of the studios. In that, I just wanted to share that because it just kind of touches base what I've been saying.
Oh, yeah, you wanted to share it because it reflects how you feel. Even though you want to sit here and say PC pigs, I don't feel for that. We've seen what other words you use to describe the PC community, too. That's why I'm on your ass the way that I am, right? That's why I cook you the way that I do, and I'm going to continue to do it, right? As long as you keep on making this dog shit content.
Multiple times. I feel like Xbox has harmed the industry overall more than helped it out, right? In theory, yes, you get to play everywhere. In theory, it's pro-consumer.
Oh, in theory, right? Yeah, it's pro-consumer, but you guys don't care about that, oddly enough, right? And this is what I mean. This is why I have a magnifying glass on you PlayStation fanboys. I find it so odd. Here you guys are in the position of the consumer, but you guys don't care about pro-consumer practices, right? And it's all to withhold this quality, right? It's almost like you guys are used to getting walked on. It's almost like you guys are used to getting stepped on, and you like being a little doormat.
And parts of it is. But in a way, it's harmed the industry because I don't like subscription services, what they've done to the industry for some.
Oh, did it harm Expedition 33, right? Game of the year, in my opinion, right? Unless we don't get some Game of the Year nonsense that we usually see. I don't know, brother.
Indie devs and for indie games, it has helped out, absolutely. For AAA, I don't think it really has helped out. It's going to be a case-by-case scenario, and again, it ended up making them not competitors for PlayStation. So again, now we have PlayStation kind of working.
And this is what I mean. Here we go with competing. How are they not competitors when they've literally invaded the top 10 sales chart? When PlayStation looks at their top-selling games on their platform, they see Microsoft taking up 60% of it. How is that not competitive, right? These guys are just coping.
On a win. It is a high possibility they can throw their games however, whenever, wherever, because they don't feel they have that competition. Nintendo's doing its own thing.
And see, look, they won't even say that Nintendo is competition, right? And Nintendo's the only one with exclusives. This is what I mean. You guys expose yourself. You guys don't want competition. You just want to sit here and glaze Sony, right? Like I said, I'm not a fan of Nintendo. I think the shit that they're doing with piracy is scummy, right? But we can't lie, right? Their games are selling, right? Their consoles are selling. They have exclusives still. It seems like they're doing all the shit that you guys pretend to do. But you're going to sit here and say, oh, they're not competing. There's no competition. You guys are cope. That's why, like, all this lackluster shit that you're seeing from PlayStation, you guys can blame people like Xvault, right? Because all they'll do is sit here and boot kiss this company, even when it gives you the bare minimum, sometimes less.
Right? I mean, overall, Microsoft has harmed the industry as a whole. They've done some good things along the way, absolutely. They had their peak.
You keep on saying they've harmed the industry, but you're not expanding. You're literally just saying they're harming the industry when it looks like all they did was hurt your feelings.
Absolutely. Xbox Live, when it was first done, absolutely amazing. The OG Xbox I thought was great. You had the hard drive, you could burn CDs to it, play your games, run your music in the back.
Yeah, and I think that is dope that you could play your music in the background and everything. Oh, so are you telling me you're an Xbot refugee, right? Isn't that what they call the PC guys? Xbot refugees? So it sounds like you're an Xbot refugee. Interesting.
Background, if you wanted. That was unprecedented at the time because that was, administered.
Yeah, back when consoles were actually fucking innovative, right? On both sides, right? Even the PlayStation, I think they had like Blu-ray and shit like that. Yeah, back when the consoles were actually innovative, right? And when they were doing more than just holding games hostage. Yes, I know. We're in the hot tub time machine yet again. I mean, goddamn, this old man.
To PC rigs only. So if you didn't have a PC rig, you had something kind of similar because Microsoft is part of a PC space, right? So they had some good things, but overall.
Okay, so how can you not see it all coming full circle? Notice what he just said, right? And now you see them essentially making their consoles streamlined PCs, right? Still having the console functionality. It's still going to be a console living room box, right? But it's going to be open platform. It's probably going to have a desktop mode. Hopefully the console, right? I'm not talking about the handhelds. We know the handhelds are going to have desktop mode, but hopefully the console will have a desktop mode, right? And these guys are going to be able to experience, just to be able to get a taste of the PC master race, right? The PC greatness.
Years went on and on and on. They've done nothing but harm it as a whole. I feel. I don't know where the quality went to.
Yeah, you feel. And here you go talking about quality subjective stuff. You're talking about your feelings. You're a PlayStation fanboy. We know how you feel. You wear your heart on your sleeve, buddy.
Bad management, this, that, and the other. But I just wanted to share that because, it touches base on that. And then there's a lot of pirating on the PC side of things, right? And people are going to act like, no, we buy, and they do buy at times. Right?
Yeah, and even with all the piracy, we still buy way more games than you guys do, right? Astro Boy done entered the chat, right? Even with the piracy, we still buy the games more than you do. And I don't care about pirating, not when there's little boot kissers like you who will go out of your way to buy the game. And not only that, you guys will buy the game twice. You'll double dip and everything. As long as there's boot kissers like you who support the devs, then I think you guys have paid the way for SIGs, in my opinion.
But there's a lot of pirating and a lot of other issues going on over there as well. most of the time you're getting online games, a lot of cheaters. They're exploitive.
And there's a lot of cheaters on console. Shit, whenever I boot up goddamn Mortal Kombat or whenever I boot up UFC and shit like that, you damn right I be running into lag switchers, people who can magically change the goddamn connection and start lagging and shit once you start handing them ass whoopings and everything. There's cheaters everywhere, man. I'm so tired of them trying to run with this shit like it's something that's exclusive to PC because they love that exclusive word. This shit is not exclusive to PC. There's cheaters everywhere.
And, there's just a bigger chunk of numbers for cheating on PC. I
mean, when I used to play PUBG back in the day on console, there was a shit ton of cheaters. A shit ton, right? I don't know why we're capping like this.
Turning off crossplay if at all possible because I don't want that. I'm not saying...
you turn off crossplay because you don't want to get worked. You're an old man. You don't have reflexes. That's why. You don't want to get worked.
Not cheaters on consoles because there are, but it's just harder to do typically, and you're going to see less of.
Says who? And if anything, if anything, when you do it on console, you feel like probably, and this is my opinion, right? I don't cheat, right? There's no need for your boy Sigs, but I would think they would feel more comfortable doing it on console, right? Because I guess there wouldn't be that much knowledge around it, right? But like I said, on the console side, if you ask me, there's a lot of cheaters. It's rampant, right? Especially on PUBG. PUBG is just the best example I could bring up, right? I don't really play console games anymore, but I remember they were cheating heavily on that game.
Because it's more of a casual base, right? That are playing on consoles as well. So just a lot of different things. Just wanted to share that, but let's move on here.
Let's wrap it up.
Things here now. Clutes. Been a minute since we featured Clute again. I try not to because just ignorant, right? So he quotes at Nate to Hate, thoughts about the current rumors from Sony porting more games to more platforms. Any information on which Sony games will come to Xbox next? And Nate the Hate, who, if you don't know, is a little bit of an insider. Yes, he gets things wrong. Yes, sometimes he gets things right. Grain of salt.
Oh yeah, you guys love these little leakers.
States, I can't imagine it'll be anything beyond live service games like we are seeing with Helldivers 2 and Marathon. Sony seems content with licensing unused IP. Patapon, Everybody's Golf, to publishers otherwise, right?
And this is what I mean. And you guys are still coping. It's just live service games. I mean, this is sad. This is not a good way to go out, man, right? And I don't know why this dude Clute is begging this guy. Like I said, I feel like the Xbox guys, a lot of them have lost sight on the goal, right? The goal is to be able to play the games. You guys are going to have ways to access the games through the next Xbox hardware, right? The games are coming if you're patient enough, if you're willing to wait. Right, because and to be honest with you guys have waited this long.
We've seen that. As of today, a little sneak peek of or what might come before this video. There are talks that there is a rumor going around that Returnal might head over to Xbox for whatever reason. I do
for whatever reason to make money, buddy. And look, you're already coping and see that we can see it in your face.
Find that odd if that was to be the case. It didn't sell extremely well on PlayStation. I don't see it selling extremely well.
Oh, well, that's why they're bringing it over to Xbox, because you guys didn't buy it, right? but I thought that exclusive sold consoles.
On Xbox, and supposedly there's some sort of talks in between there that Sony wants more of a chunk if it did come over, more than a 70-30 split, plus, Xbox would have to pay for advertisements and on and on and on. But I just don't see that being a thing. I just don't see why that would be a thing. But
for money. And you just said it yourself that it didn't sell well on PlayStation. They're trying to get that money, brother.
It does. But I'm not saying it will or won't in one way or the other. Grain of salt.
Oh, it sounds like PlayStation's bowing out of the console war, right? It seems like they've bowed out by your own admission, right? Wasn't that what you're saying for this whole entire video? That they done bowed out and that they're putting games in other places? It seems like PlayStation's taking a page out of Microsoft's book.
As the latest rumor, just thought I'd mention it in this video if there's not a video coming before this to kind of talk about that if I get more information about that. But as we continue here, and then of course Jez latching on, Nate confirms the whole slate. So, again, later on he tries to rebuttal that, and you shouldn't online because a lot...
I mean, boy, they're trolling your asses. And again, August 1st is when this tweet was from, right? Nonetheless, dude, it is going to be full slate. I've said that a whole bunch of times, right? I've said that, honestly, too much. We're on 50 minutes with this video. It's been a long video. I thought that he would be done sooner, but, I mean, this guy just likes to run his mouth. Your boy Sigs has had enough, man. Until next time, it's been your boy Sigs and Cereal. Peace.